It looks much better. Alright, no frames seem to be dropping. Alright, cool. Yeah, I just figured I needed to go pause my 9 million gigabyte download of the entire of that stupid beta in the other room. I'll just download it overnight. So anyway, hello everybody. This is the last couple of streams here before Eternal Weekend is upon us, so we're going to be jamming a bunch of Legacy Death and Taxes, specifically since that's my main jam. Mostly just winging it in the vintage portion. We've had a couple fun streams. We'll look at it again in the future, maybe. We'll revisit the archetype, but for now I'm focusing on the format that I am the most confident in, the one I have the most experience in, all that good stuff. So anyway, there are a couple of changes that I opted to make since last I streamed this deck. Let me grab the list that I was looking at. What did I do? I cut Hallowed Spirit Keeper, moved a Crusader to the sideboard, and then added a Remorseful Cleric to the main. Yeah, it looks about right. I need to make those updates. On Stream Decker as well. So this is, I think, going to be something like the 75 that I'm going to register at Eternal Weekend. So much sure for certain, obviously, but I think just a lot of recent things that have come up in the Legacy world have opted me to want to have a deck built kind of like this. I was been trying for a really long time to fit this Remorseful Cleric in the main. I think the two main cuts were move the Ballista to the sideboard or move the Mirror Crusader to the sideboard and possibly sub this Crusader with something else. But I've just been enjoying Ballista a lot in the main deck. And Crusader has not actually been impressing me a lot. Like, it's good against Grixis, but we're already playing this Hallowed Spirit Keeper hedge against Grixis game 1. We can bring it in game 2, and just there aren't a lot of matchups where Crusader's super impressive. Oftentimes it's just kind of a above average beater, but Remorseful Cleric is really helpful with the rise of the both 4-color Loam and Dredge. Dredge has gone in the past 4 Legacy challenges. I think it's gone first, second, first. And I was reading on Legacy that the only reason they got second the one time is because they split the top prize. Like, they split the top 2. And apparently Miracle is like a really good matchup for Dredge, and I think that's what won that day. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that I'm trying to respect Dredge a little bit more with my deck building decisions. So in addition to the 4 pieces of Graveyard Hate, I would have either bumped up to a 5th or main deck the Remorseful Cleric, and I've kind of been wanting to try to fit this into the deck. So I like where this list is looking. Let me finish updating everything here. Add Remorseful Cleric, subtract Mirror Crusader, go to the sideboard, subtract the other Spirit Keeper, and add a Mirror Crusader. Alright, cool. Now everything should be updated. If you refresh your like Cardboard Live little windows, I think it should work. Oops, no, I don't want to do. There's no little Cardboard Live window. I need to refresh. Anyway, whatever. I'll figure that out. So I think this is somewhere around where I want to be. Still not sold on like what the final cut is from this deck. The 60 for me has been really, really rock solid recently, and I haven't been 100% certain on what I wanted to remove from it. So I think the Mirror Crusader was just the card that I had considered the most. But I do kind of dislike that I am respecting the Shadow matchup less. But at like in the fine-tuning stages of these like last 2 or 3 slots in the main and sideboard, you have to make some pretty hard decisions. Some cards are just going to cut, and it's going to make some matchups a little bit worse, but you're going to make other matchups better. So you just have to see if that's worth it. I hope that quality isn't my quality really bad, or is that just like on my end? Let me know if the quality's really shitty. I can try to finagle with some of the settings. See if I refresh the page. I usually have like my stream over here off to the side, and the quality is really bad, but I don't know if that's just my internet being garbage, or if it's something wrong with the stream. So I kind of feel bad about cutting the second Howled Spirit Keeper from the board as well, but the one on the sideboard has impressed me a lot less than the one on the main board. So it's a hard decision to make. The reason I like it so much in the main deck is because it's so good game 1 against Grixis, because oftentimes they're just stone cold to it. Unless, obviously, they have an active Jace the Mind Sculptor and they can just unsummon it a bunch, but you're pretty dead in a lot of those cases anyway. But in the post board, they'll have a lot of other answers to it. Like March Casualties, Toxic Deluges, what have you. Sands is a little loose, but I like it. Especially on the play. Not a huge amount of combo in the format. And just we have a lot of good, fair tools. And we're on the play. On the draw, I might ship it, just based on it being too slow. Really love to draw a 2-drop, or like a Rashadan port. Then we can go like port your land, Violent Mom into untap, Wasteland, port land. Factory Spirit Guide Chalice. So I assume like Eldrazi Stompy? Not a lot of the other Stompy decks play both Factory and Spirit Guide. Like Steel Stompy's not going to be playing Spirit Guide because they don't go as big. And Red Prison does not play Mishra's Factory. Ooh. I think I'm game for just casting this Thalia. I'd rather Wasteland a Soul Land anyway. Like, if that's how unimpressive their turn 1 is, then... that they think, like, Spirit Guiding out a Chalice is going to stop your opponent when they go Plains Aether Vial. I think we're in a decent position. Oh, well, according to MTG Bot, they played Eldrazi Stompy 1 day ago, so yeah, seems like Eldrazi Stompy's a good guess. In my Wasteland here. Makes sense. I think I'm going to attack with both my creatures here. I have Karakas to defend Thalia from, like, a Dismember, and other than that, Mother of Runes is not going to stop anything. So I might as well just try to get the extra damage in while my opponent's, like, floundering with their mana a little bit. I just need to beat them down as fast as possible. There's a chance if I draw land number 3 next turn, I might flicker out, like, flicker out my Thalia, and then cast Sword. Not sure if that's more damage than, like, getting Crusader on board. I mean, obviously it'll be, like, a lot of damage, but it'll tie up my mana. I can file on the Crusader next turn. We'll see. It's a moot point if I don't draw the 3rd line anyway. We just put in the Crusader and start going to town. I'd attack for 3, they'd be at 14. I'd have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in play. Yeah, I'd probably go for that. I might not attack with Mom that turn, actually. Flickering out the Thalia puts shields down like a Dismember or something. The 1 damage probably isn't worth it. Oh, shoot. Doesn't know that cardboard lives. Correct. Fixing that in a second. I just like also flicker out their Ayabugan or something. Oh, rip my cardboard live token. Alright, hang on. I'll fix cardboard live after this game. Doesn't look like it's gonna last very long anyway. Yeah, I think I'm fine with like letting them have a thing. The worst they could do is like land Thought-Knot Seer, which would be mildly annoying. I'm not sure if I'd put it in Crusader or Wisp. If they put it in Smasher, it's actually just like less scary than Thought-Knot Seer. Yeah. I guess I gotta bite the bullet now. What am I putting in response to this trigger? I think it's just Wisp. Crusader can trade with Thought-Knot. Wisp just attacks over. Might just like Wisp their Chalice of the Void. Yeah, it seems fine. We're pretty far off of casting the Sword. I assume they'll take Mirran Crusader. Wisp by Kill Trader. That's not how City Traders works. You have to play the land. It's not just when a land comes into play. There's different wording, like playing a land for turn versus when a land enters the battlefield under your control. You can like, yeah, you can fetch. If my opponent had like fetch land plus city in play, you can fetch a land and it doesn't blow up the city. Otherwise, it's probably fine, but we might as well take out the... Wow, they took Sword? That seems very wrong. I'm so far away from casting Sword. So flickering out of the Chalice turns on like extra plows if we find them. Ooh, Wasteland's pretty good. Guess I'll Wasteland this Eye. Gives them 3 mana. Unless they expected this game to like go long enough to the point where I'd be able to cast that Sword. Factory does like actually block Mirran Crusader kind of obnoxiously. Which is maybe why they didn't take it, but I'd be happy to use this Crusader as a Wasteland, so... I guess I'll cast this Mom. They can't even attack right now. Even if they like weren't super far behind on the damage race. Just Thalia plus Crusader just blocks Thought-Knot. Means they can play like a Smasher or something if they want. That's kind of annoying. I was hoping like not Walking Ballista. It's almost why I Wastelanded the City, even though Wastelanding the City is like super counterproductive. They're pretty down on lands though. This Ballista is definitely beatable. This Crusader can like just pretty safely attack. I would be impressed if my opponent attacked here. Some brass balls. Yeah. So my opponent needs a soul land to start making my life horrible with this Walking Ballista. I have a lot of good draws until then. Basically, most of the non-Mother of Runes Thalia creatures in my deck at this point are pretty good draws. I think Cardboard Live's working now. Yeah, it looks like it got updated. Is there a Mirroring Crusader on my sideboard? Yeah. Alright, cool. I think I fixed Cardboard Live. Anyway. So I'm just going to attack with Crusader here, probably. We draw Plow, we can Plow Thought, not attack with everything. We draw Flicker Wisp. I don't know what I'd do with it. Probably just hold on to it, attack with Crusader. If they, like, Soul Land, try to pump Ballista, I can Flicker it in response. Trade another Flicker Wisp for the Ballista. Oh, that was probably the worst draw in the deck. Kind of hoping my opponent does not have a Soul Land to follow up, but I don't think they do, considering how clunky a lot of their land drops have been. Considering trading with Thought Knot here. Trying to take over the game with Ballista. I'd love to have a card. They're planning on, like... No, if they have Smasher, they just wouldn't block. Because Smasher just clean blocks it, yeah. We'll just go to 7. If they can find another land, they can help mitigate the Ballista, or mitigate the Crusader with the Ballista. These draws have not been very good against Eldrazi, that's for sure. Kept a hand with 1 Mom in it, and then we drew a 2nd Mom and 2 Thalias, which is just not what you want against the colorless creature deck. Oh, this is much better. Just casting a 2-mana spell. Oh, that's not a great 2-mana spell for me. I take it back. But it does have to trade both of them to kill the Crusader, though. Notably. I'm still not attacking. That's a pretty decent draw. Punch. My opponent's just going to trade both Ballistas for it. That's great for me. So now we can just play the Stoneforge. Go get... GTA is just way too slow, right? They're at 7. GTA is going to just be abysmally slow. I think we can just get Batterskull here. I mean, I guess they attack at about the same rate. I have to spend next turn putting in the GTA or the Batterskull, and the next turn I can just equip. But my opponent can... Ooh, they thought on my equipment. That's a little bit obnoxious. My opponent attacks, I'm just triple blocking. Will I? Maybe I won't. Probably would. I have to cash in my whole board minus a Mom to draw a card. None of these things are very useful. I could actually just block with Thalia Mom. That's 4 damage. Keep the Stoneforge around in case I draw Flicker Wisp, and like the Thalia just already replaces itself. These Moms are worthless. I'll draw a card. God damn it. Come on. Would love to see a Flicker Wisp. Or like a Recruiter. Most of my 3 drops. Might be better than Thaliaing. I guess probably not for, like, at least one turn. Putting 3 power in play means my opponent can't just attack me with Thought-Knots willy-nilly. Do have to be careful of this Mishra's Factory stonewalling my board still. It blocks as a 3/3 if my opponent has, like, mana to animate it. My opponent attacks. I'm not going to block. I'm at 20. Yeah. Yeah, this makes sense. But now we have our Rashad Port online, so we can stall them on mana pretty well while we try to find something. Alternatively, we could make a flyer. What would this be? This would be a Mirran Crusader right now? Would be much better as Mirran Crusader, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, I think I'm just gonna like make a flyer. Clocks them. Would you consider flickering the Thought Knot if you just had Thalia in hand to cycle it? Probably not. Just because they get to like re-Thought Knot me on entry, right? Like maybe end step Violent a Wisp, so I can play the card that I drew, whatever it is. But with the current board, I'd just much rather flicker the Stoneforge and go find Jite. But with no other targets in play, I would think about it. But even then, I might just like flicker out a land for turn. The only thing they can play here is like another Thought Knot, which isn't scary. We have them on a 4-turn clock. We can start porting the Temple, taking them off of a ton of mana. They can't get aggressive with the factory because we have Thalia. Yep. Oh, that's a terrible draw. Luckily, we don't need that much more to win this game. I mean, my opponent did not find another Walking Ballista. Start porting this Temple every turn. Ooh, my opponent have to dismember for this? That's pretty risky, but yeah. If I had left him, kept him mom instead of Stoneforge, I could stop this, but... I mean, I guess we exile their graveyard. Don't think it does anything, but you never know. So now we're back to the board being pretty stalled here. My opponent can't attack. We have lethal on board now if we can get through a Thought Knot. Like if we draw a Wisp, port down the factory or whatever. Don't know why my opponent's taking so long for this decision. Don't think they have a colorless regrowth, yeah. I could like chip in for a 1 at some point. Play another Thalia after they block a Thalia, but that seems like a pretty weak play. Especially when I can be using Rashad and Port. So what are we hoping to draw at this point? I just like look at my deck here. I think we're just hoping to draw any spell that isn't another Thalia or a Mom. Oh, that Soul Land's single use. And it better make a creature or else they're just dead. I guess Prelate wouldn't be a good draw. Spirit Keeper would be like weirdly good. right now. Spirit Keeper is like randomly okay in the matchup. Can't attack unless they have some sort of like Warping Whale main deck. The Spatial Contortion. If we draw Flicker Wisp, they lose. If we draw Plow, they probably lose, but not guaranteed. They get gain 4 life. Not great. At least you get to play second Aether Vial. So now, eventually this Aether Vial is going to tick up to 2. We don't care about the Crocus, because we have another Thalia, and they can't really cast a lot of removal spells at this point, especially pre-board. They can't even cast any other dismembers in their deck. Trying the new old tech. What is the... It depends what you mean by the new old tech. I guess the Remorseful Cleric. Everyone was like, oh, this card's sweet, as soon as M19 came out, and everyone was like, wait a minute, there's no graveyard decks. But now they're back. The graveyard decks are back, so Remorseful Cleric, I think, is a justifiable add-in, again. I got nothing. I'm F6'd. Got nothing, opponent. Go nuts. Go hog wild. Opponent can now cast 3 drops, or a single 5-drop. Not naming Spirit with their Cavern Souls seems pretty loose. They have bitch 2 Spirit Guides already, but they would love to cast 2/2s right now, and like not like I'm countering any of their stuff. As an expert of casting your Spirit Guides, always, if you have extraneous caverns that you're not going to use, name Spirit. Gotta put those Mana Monkeys and Mana Elves into play. Don't know my opponent's like tanking. Like my opponent might just be like having really shitty internet. They just like pause in very weird times. They've just burned a lot more clock than I have. Like right now. Still would love to draw almost any spell in the deck, almost any non-Thalia, non-Mom spell in the deck. There are like a couple more misses, 2 more Aether Vials, a Sanctum Prelate, 1 more Thalia, 2 more Moms. It's like everything else in the deck is insane. There's like Walking Ballista. They're pretty good. Oh shit. At least it's like it's more clock. I can almost attack for 2. Alright, next turn I can attack for 2. So if they like hit another land drop and then tap out using the Ancient Tomb for an Endbringer or something, then we have lethal. So this Mother Runes definitely isn't nothing. Violin Mom, untap. We can port the factory, attack with the team. Thought Not blocks Thalia, hit them for 2, because they go to 1. And then... So not quite. But... Because I don't want to let them like untap and play another blocker. So I wouldn't want to port proactively. Maybe I should have ported the factory that turn, for just that reason. So I just untap and just chip shot them for 2. and then port the factory again on their turn. Kind of annoying. Alright. So I could port the factory main phase, attack for 2, put them to 1. They have 3 cards in hand, though, and they'd untap with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, which I guess is no more than they have right now, anyway. And I'd be down to... I'd just have... No, I'd have 3 creatures still, and they'd have 1. So they would need to produce 2 creatures with, like, the 5 mana that they have access to, so we gotta have them port the factory again. I think I feel pretty confident in just, like, smashing. Especially if they block Thalia, we can just pick it up with Caracas, too. Oh, they just went straight into blocks. Didn't even animate factory. Again, not that it really matters, but now I just get to port them and they can't use the Ancient Tomb. Sometimes you just gotta go beat down with Mother of Runes and Thalias and Stoneforges in the face of 4/4s. Yeah, my opponent is burned. Like, what, 9? No, I can't do math. 9 minutes, so like 16 minutes on this game 1. Alright, they conceded. I win 2 games in 9 minutes, which Eldrazi Stompy can do, but against D&T. Wait, they just conceded the whole match. Alright, deal. Cool, I guess. Shrug. Alright. Recorded that, I guess. That single game. Maybe my opponent was like having some internet issues. That's why they were their turns were taking a long time. And they were just like, yeah, we're dead here. I have 9 minutes left. Just fuck it. I'm gonna stop playing Moto for the night, try to figure out what's wrong with my internet, something like that. Perhaps. Death and Taxes for the win. Thanks for the host with 39 viewers. Thanks for the host, Phil. Hope your stream went well. And greetings to everyone for coming from Phil's stream. I'm XJ Cloud, another D&T streamer. Play a lot of D&T here if you're unfamiliar with the channel, so drop me a follow if you want to pick up some more content. Sand sucks. Sand sucks a lot. Opponent also mulliganed, which is nice. The sand is fine. Hoping my opponent is doing something fair. Ooh, I think I just have to top that. Always top file on the draw, right? Marsh Flats. Hoping that's something fair and not Red-Black Reanimator. It's gotta be JD. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate the support. Really hoping this is not Red-Black Reanimator, but there aren't a lot of other Marsh Flats decks. My opponent's right at the... No, he's right at the bottom. This feels a lot like red-black Reanimator. I think the Rip is stronger than third surgical, especially now you have Cleric. At least it does hedge against therapy, I guess. I mean, it also hedges against, wait, what's the text on? No, yeah, no, it doesn't hedge against. I mean, yes, it does hedge against Silent Gravestone, but not in the sense that Remorse Cleric doesn't hit Gravestone, because I think it does still. What am I the Stoneforge for here? Because I think Silent Gravestone protects your cards in your graveyard from being targeted, and then Remorse Cleric just targets a player. Just gonna grab Batterskull here, I guess. Grab like Sword or something, but yeah, Gravestone Black Surgical and can cast Wisp or Leon and Relic Order. But that's also kind of why I like diversifying the hate a little bit. Because if they want to answer all of your hate, they need both Silent Gravestones and their like Serenities or Assassin's Trophies or whatever they board in to get rid of Rips and Leylines. So I kind of like diversifying the hate. Plus, Rip is just a nice effect to have at like in some amount. Just there are random decks that Surgical is not very good against that Rip is good against. That sometimes you'll be happy to have a 1 of Rip in your sideboard rather than just like devoting a heavy chunk of your sideboard to Surgical Extraction specifically instead. Just need to get like a broader application of hate. Well, Krakus is good if my opponent is red-black. But I don't... I'm only pretty sure they're on red-black, so I guess we'll just... Cataclysm and slamming Rip versus Loam. So, yeah, or like having a Rip in play when you cast Cataclysm. Stuff that I've done many times to Loam players is like just hold on to the Rip until they like fire off a life from the Loam, and you rip the life from the Loam, and then you follow up with Cataclysm to actually try to prevent them from rebuilding as well. Whereas Surgicaling Loam against 4-color Loam is like necessary at times, but definitely not as good as just like ripping it, because they only have 2. Yeah, excuse me. So I think if my opponent's on red-black, which I imagine is probably what they're on, I think they'll concede here or try to go for something, and I think we have them locked down if they go for something. Oh, they're gonna let me know what they're on. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised here. I would have expected my opponent would have conceded to conceal information, so I guess they think they have a shot. Discard Chancellor Ashen Rider. I guess that's kind of a shot. I can Ashen Rider away my Caracas. Unmask. I guess I'll put it in my Batterskull. I want as big of a clock in play as possible. Alright, they're going in. They could, like, Ashen Rider my Batterskull. I guess that's a thing they could do. Oh, wow, nope. What? This doesn't seem like a very good plan. Just land double Lotus Petal flashback diluting. I'm not sold on that being the play. Solid, I guess. Do I attack with the Mom here? Probably. I don't think my opponent's Ashen Rider gonna name my things. I think they're gonna Ashen Rider like the Batterskull or the Caracas, if anything. Not just copying the winner of the fight. It's all good. Like, it's definitely understandable. I just like explaining my thoughts on things. Not necessarily like the right thing to do. It's just like, this is how I think of things. Did you hear about the shooting in Pittsburgh? I did. It's very sad. Was pretty upset to hear about it. Just play Ballista. Maybe even flicker this Badlands. No, I think I'm gonna save the flickers to save something from Ashen Rider trigger. Smash. Guess what deck I made by mashing a Legacy Merfolk and Legacy D&T deck? Sounds like some sort of unholy abomination. What have you done? Oh yeah, opponent just concedes. Cool. Oh yeah, I did actually forget very briefly. Thanks for the heads up. Kind of just blanked on that one. Made Stoneblade. Yeah, that's kind of like Legacy D&T Merfolk, right? You just put Stoneforge equipments onto a True Nemesis, right? Oh wow. Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense. Hello, RBS. How's it going? So we just board in like 12 cards in this matchup. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Wait, no, why am I cutting these plows? Plows are great. Cut Jite, cut Sword. Am I cutting the whole Stoneforge package? Cut Ballista, cut Spirit Keeper. Guys need help. I'm enjoying Standard far more than Modern. I've heard a lot of people are. You don't necessarily need help. Maybe just like play some Standard. Modern's kind of a shithole right now, depending on what you want to get out of the format. How's Cataclysm been for me? Cataclysm's been really good. It excels against a lot of the control decks like Miracles and Grixis, and has also helped against the rise of some of the big mana decks like Eldrazi Post, where you can just Armageddon them for a huge amount, and it just sets them a million turns behind. It's a nice hedge, whereas Gideon is better against like the mid-range to control spectrum. Cataclysm is better against like the control to like the big mana spectrum. I do have a YouTube channel. I think there should be a link down below on the page to my YouTube channel where I post all my streams after they're live. There's like a ton of D&T stuff there. Single most fun card resolve legacy. I don't doubt that. Cataclysms. When you cast Cataclysm, your opponent's like, yeah, feels good, man. Anyway, I need to figure out these last couple of cuts. Guess it's probably like Stoneforge Battle Skull. Now I'm down a card. Could bring in a Crusader. That might not be the worst. Something like that. That was good enough. Let's try it. Ah, God, Chalice of the Void. This card's not good against not good against Red Black Reanimator. It's like begrudgingly acceptable. I wonder if this hand is. I feel like this hand's just not okay, right? Vile, Chalice on 0 is pretty weak, especially because we're on the draw. We get like Port Wasteland, but we don't have any like. I think we can just mull to like better graveyard hate elements, like this Rest in Peace. This would be a keep against any other deck. Yeah, the hand is great against not Red Black Reanimator. I think I'm gonna keep this. We're on the draw with the Scry, and we can at least turn away Aether Vial to do something. We're not keeping a hand of Stone Cold unplayables. Yeah, Greeno Attacks was talked about a little bit in the Discord once upon a time. I forget who tested that. Was it Dank Confidant? Ooh. Easy. Always had it. Never didn't have it. We could still die, but having 2 removal spells on top of Rest in Peace makes me feel even better. Yeah, Knight of Autumn is pretty insane. God, I wish I could play Knight of Autumn for just mono white Knight of Autumn. I'd give up one of the abilities to still fucking play that card. Sure, and mask. Can't do anything about it. We still have 2 removal spells and a Thalia and a Port. Definitely not nothing. And my opponent is down to 4 cards. Wow. Take Plow? Do they have an answer to a Rip? Or are they going off now and they can beat a path? They might take the path too, just down the road? I don't know. Okay, Entomb, sure. But if they took the sword and they're going off now, wouldn't they rather... I guess they'd rather have the land post. They're just gonna, like, make a Grizzlebrand, I guess, and hope to, like, find something to rip the path. Oh, they're going for Iona. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Like, they just don't care because they're gonna Iona me. We're gonna make Ashen Rider. Oh, that made sense, too. We have some draws that beat Iona. Not a lot, but some. We have, like, 3 specifically. Not super good. 4 turns to find him. Maybe I should have played the Rashadan Port to play around, like, Anime Ashen Rider there, too. Oh, I guess, yeah, Jailer's out, too, or Recruiter for Jailer. So we have actually a lot. We have, like, 6, 7-ish outs. Even, like, Flicker Wisp stalls a turn. Actually, no, Flicker Wisp could actually win if we draw, like, if we could Flicker Wisp out the Anime Dead and cast a Rest in Peace. We have a lot of outs to this. Like that one. Jailer's not too slow, right? Next, we go to 8, file in Recruiter, go to 2. Yeah, it should be fine. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm supposed to put it in the Thalia. Can you explain how the Flicker, the Animate Deadline would work? So if we drew Flicker Wisp, we could Violin the Flicker Wisp on the Animate Dead, and that would flicker out the Animate Dead and put the Iona in the graveyard until the end of the turn. And then now that Iona's off the board until the end of the turn, we cast Rest in Peace. And then Rest in Peace just exiles the Iona, and then the Animate Dead comes back at the end of turn and can't do anything. Not anymore with the Thalia. Well, yeah, the Recruiter's going to go find Palace Jailer now. Because the Recruiter, I'd have to recruit the Flicker Wisp, and then Violin the Flicker Wisp, and then Rest in Peace, and I can just recruit Palace Jailer, and that's just shorter. We're just going to go 2 here, and then cast Rest in Peace. Oh, I forgot to port them. Oops. Hope that doesn't murder me. Didn't have any idea that was in the line. Once it was in play, I thought it was sort of in play until it dies. Yeah, Anime Dead has a very long text that basically says, if Anime Dead leaves the battlefield, the creature's sacrificed. If the creature leaves the battlefield, Anime Dead dies. It's up all the time. Discards Archetype of Endurance. Yeah, I hope that not porting didn't, like, come back to bite me real bad. Probably not, because we're just going to, like, Rest in Peace them next turn. How's the league going? Well, we won round 1. I think we're about to win round 2, so pretty good. Guess maybe Wisp was still better than Palace Jailer here, but I don't think it matters. If they somehow get Monarchy from me, it could go south, but -1. Oh, that's why thankfully it's Animate Dead. Yeah, that makes sense. I think my opponent conceded. Yep. Had a lot of outs. So after I sat down and thought about it, we had a ton of outs that Iona with Aether Bile in play. Which is great, now you have a whole bunch of card advantage too. Yeah, but if they somehow got, I don't know how, but if they got Monarchy from me, then we just died of the Iona. Whereas if we get Wisp, we just exile the Iona forever. So it's probably a tiny bit safer to get the Flicker Wisp there anyway, but it does, not a huge deal. I think the game's just over as soon as we go through that turn without getting Thought Seized. Where's Red-Black Reanimator? I feel like it's an all roads lead to Rome. Yeah, exactly. As soon as we drew Recruiter, it's like, alright, well, this game is actually pretty over. As it turns out. How much life? If they have Monarch. That's fair. If they take Monarch from me, I'm just dead because I'm at 2. Oh, that's not right. Thanks all the time. Alright, try again. You can try it again all the time. Hopefully that, I forgot to update Stream Decker. I wish Cardboard Live would just get their own extension, so I don't have to manage Stream Decker and Cardboard Live, because some people still like to use the decklist command. There we go. If Cardboard Live had their own exclamation point decklist bot thing, then I would just use them all the time. RBS151, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Cardboard Live extension. Yeah. Cardboard Live extension should be good, but some people like to type exclamation point decklist, or they don't know, or they can't see the extension for one reason or another. I don't know what mediums you can and cannot see it at this point. Their extension does work for mobile. Weirdly enough. Which I have not seen, like, those type of extensions work for mobile before, which is really cool. Been considering playing Standard at some point, but just not my thing. Just haven't seen a deck. Like, I admit that this Standard is probably, like, fine and enjoyable. Just it takes a certain deck to bring me out of Eternal formats. It's fine. I like a certain playstyle that Standard does not offer me super often. Oh boy, Manaless Dredge, let's go! Do I cast the Thalia here, or the Remorseful Cleric? Thalia prevents them from, like, ever flashbacking a Cabal Therapy, so what's the worst they could do if they, like, dredge 5 this turn, right? It's not like they can, like, sack therapies or anything. They can just never cast a Dread Return if I have Thalia in play, right? And then, if they dredge some more, then we can just clean up a bunch of Icarids and Bridges and stuff with Remorseful Cleric. I think Thalia is just better here, right? Rather than using Remorseful Cleric to just exile 5 cards or whatever. They probably missed therapy 1. Yeah, they also, like, can't cast any therapies because they're just manaless. But if I have Thalia in play, they just never ever cast a therapy. And I want to turn off the casting therapies to, like, prevent them from making any zombies. I'm just gonna play a Thalia. I don't think manaless can do anything super scary. If this were, like, LED Dredge, and they had, I guess this would have just been a different game if they were on LED Dredge, which would have likely forced me to. I guess Prized Amalgam is a reason to Remorseful Cleric. That's going to be a thing that sticks around. But I think I can beat, like, a single Prized Amalgam. I hit a bridge, too. Yeah, I guess we're just Remorseful Clericing next turn, killing a bridge and an Icarid. I guess I'll block. It's free. Thanks for the 2 bits, Aethervile or Yanni. I don't know what you want me to refer to you as in Twitch chat anymore. Got him. So let's see if they get back any Icarids here. Take your pick. Alright. Never forget the first time I watched you play League of Legacy. I don't even remember the first time I streamed a full League of Legacy. Oh yeah, the 10,000 zombies. Oh, okay, I remember that. Was that the first time? When it says, what a champ. Oh, did they exile Icarid to wait, no, would they exile those? They exile a thug. Do they want to make another thug? Or no, then they're exiling... Oh, no, they got plenty of other dredgers in here, so... I guess it was too late for me to... No, I can't kill the Icarids, right? Maybe this wasn't right. I totally forgot that they had, like, actual black creatures. I didn't count this shambling shell. I think I let this happen, though, now. Because I've already let one happen, I can let the second happen. I can block a zombie and block the prized amalgam, first strike the Icarid, with bridge trigger on the stack, sack the remorseful cleric, kill one of the Icarids, and clean out their graveyard. This is kind of dumb, though. I think we're still fine. Why don't you take a natural draw, right? Nope. Yeah, definitely, like, messed up there, but it shouldn't be the end of the world for sure. We just, like, jailer this prized amalgam, too, right? They have Chancellors in their deck? That's cool. Need to kill them at some point. Paying costs. You can't cast anything, opponent. The attack's not going to do very good. Wow, I'd love to draw, like, not lands. Wisp Jailer to take the Narcomoeba. I was actually going to Wisp... I was going to Wisp the zombie, but that makes a lot more sense. I could also Wisp Jailer take the prized amalgam and use the Flickerist to block the Narcomoeba. But then I'm dead. Like, then I'm soft to the second Narcomoeba as soon as they find it. The issue is that this prized amalgam can, like, attack me a bunch. And I'd have to, like, start chump blocking it and stuff to prevent them from getting their guys back. So I think eating the prized amalgam is better and waiting a little bit. I suppose I could always just block the prized amalgam repeatedly with, like, Thalia, but... We do have to attack at some point, but hopefully we can draw enough cards. to actually be able to do something. With the Icarid, they only have 3 attackers to my 3 blockers, so it should be okay. They can't get back a bunch of prized amalgams yet. Hoping to... Yeah, decking them seems unlikely, because we'll be dead to a bunch of Narcomoebas. We need to find a Stoneforge Mystic to win this. I do feel kind of stupid, because I think I just gave them an Icarid for no reason. Lolith Giant? Oh, that's the new, Flare of the Hatebound, right? Then their big guys don't matter at all, because they're just never casting as long as there's a Thalia in play. They did hit a bridge here. No, hang on, I'd rather block like that. They get less zombies, right? No, they get the same amount of zombies. As long as they stack their triggers properly, they'll get 2 zombies here. You just need to, like, actually find a useful card and not 8 lands. I don't care about my graveyard order. Assume my opponent knows how to stack their own bridge triggers. Yep. Now we're pretty fucked, because they're about to get back 2 3/3s as soon as this Narcomoeba connects. That's not super great. Again, would really love to have drawn not 8 lands here, but now we need to draw Stoneforge like this next turn, even then. This is another Shadows coming back too. Might as well deal him 2 damage. Just gonna like Caracas it for vigilance here. I don't think like the fuck up with the Icarid was super costly. I did give them an Icarid for what essentially amounts to free. But I think I was just like not. If my Pal Shieldler was not going to draw me anything, then it was not going to go over well. There's a chance I maybe should have Pal Shielded the first Narcomoeba. Use the Flickers to like handle a second, and then just Thalia plus Caracas block to Prized Amalgam for 1,000,000 turns. Stoneforge. GT. Alright, that does something. This isn't nothing. We'll see if GT can pull me out of this mess, but they're going to get 2 3/3s, which is definitely horrifying. Need them to not hit like a bunch of bridges here. That is a bridge, which is obnoxious. They get another Prized Amalgam here? No, they don't. Nothing reanimated yet. I might as well block the Icarid, because it's going to die in end of turn anyway. I think the Mom's just going to like get unsummoning sick here, so... Take 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that was a lot of stuff that happened there. Opponent gets like drenched twice now. Oh no. What have I done? Yeah, that's more or less my plan. Might as well load Zombie out. Trade Mom for Icarid there. I think I like Icarid or like Mom being online for the future turns, but I'm not positive on that. So we need 5 amp mana to play an equip GT, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can blow up a bridge and play an equip GT still. Or I could play equip GT attack and then equip GT again. Unfortunately, that means if I want to break the bridges, I would need to put shields down like therapies, which is bad. Block a zombie instead of the Icarid. So take 1 less damage. Get a zombie out of the way for free. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's probably a better block. I'd be at 8, but there'd be less zombie in play. My opponent trying to like manage how to not deck themselves here. Well, they hit the other bridge. That's nice. Makes that line easier. We might still be dead this turn, though. Draw land 900. So if I just play an equip GT to Thalia, I don't even know if I can attack. Do I use it defensively? They have how many Icarids? 1, 2 Icarids, and another Nether Shadow's not coming back yet. Break the bridges. They got 2 Icarids coming back. That's just lethal, right? I can block. They'll have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I can gain 4, put me to 13. I guess I can ping off 2 Icarids instead, right? Which would be put me to 1 instead, is that right? Block. I'd actually be losing my Thalia in this, and then they could like flashback therapies and stuff. Because I have to block a prized amalgam. Block. Ping, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I think I go to 1, but then I would have a Mother of Runes versus a gigantic board, so. Losing Thalia clears new bridges, then cast new Thalia. Well, no, I'm not. I wasn't gonna attack with this GT. I was gonna block with the GT, but I guess it's the same thing, right? Or close to the same thing. But I'm still gonna like lose a Thalia regardless. Is the issue. But then the therapies don't really do anything. Oh, GT first. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter. I can cast this GT anytime. They can also just Phantasmagorian, I think, for lethal, right? Does this trigger? I think they can just Phantasmagorian away 3 creatures to make sure this Nether Shadow comes back and for sure kill me. They also unlock their Dread Return if I lose the Thalia. I think we're just dead. Oh, hang on. Nope, nah, that's dumb. I'll make my opponent do it, I guess. So if we were at 8 and my opponent had 1 less zombie in play instead, so yeah, my opponent's bringing back Nether Shadow, so I think that's actually lethal. If we were at 8 and my opponent had 1 less zombie, I think we'd still be alive at like 1, but I think we'd still just be horribly dead. My opponent had 1 less Icarid, notably. We might be okay, but probably not. Just drawing a lot of lands did not help me out. The Monarchy was not very good for me. Okay, luckily I think Manaless is a lot easier to beat than normal dredges. Their hands are just like way less explosive, and you have more time to get to your hate. It's a delayed trigger. That's where those go. What my opponent's waiting for. I guess, I don't know, our Thalia would live. Our Mother of Runes would die. We'd use the Mom to save the Thalia. But it doesn't matter. My opponent used the Phantasmagorian to make sure the Nether Shadow comes back, so I think that's, like, exactly. And even if it wasn't, there's no way untapping with Thalia plus GTA was going to win me this game. Notably, they do have Chancellors, which is a little bit obnoxious. Gotta play around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3. I think this is lethal with the extra Nether Shadow. Yeah. At least the light turns out to turn. Got him. Oh, there's the Stoneforge. A shame. But yeah, stumbled a little bit there, and I think like if we had played optimally, we might have been able to survive a little bit longer and find that, but I'm not positive. I don't think you want Council's Judgment in this matchup. It seems astoundingly slow at removal spelling anything. Howled Spiritkeeper might actually be useful. I'm not sure on that. Revoker, it's Phantasmagorian and Street Wraith. Notably, revoking Street Wraith can help you play around Street Wraith with your surgicals, so maybe it's not the worst. What is the worst, though? Flicker Wisps seem pretty bad. Jailer seems pretty bad. This matchup gets, like, really defense heavy, and you're going to be taking a lot of hits, and as we saw there, Jailer was not super good. I think Spiritkeeper might need to go. Sword can probably go. We just really need Batterskull or GT. What are these decks even sideboard? What was the one in the... What was the one earlier this, whenever this, like, I guess this weekend? What was that one playing in the sideboard? Sometimes they play, like, Spirit Guides and Nature's Claims and stuff. It'd be nice to know them. Ashen Rider, Force of Will, Mindbreak Trap, Elish Norn, Leyline of the Void, Sickening Shoal. So Sickening Shoal is the only thing they're probably going to be bringing in. So Mom's fine. Wisps kind of suck. I can see just cutting all of the Wisps. Prelate might be just not super good. It does turn off Therapy or Dread Return. We have 4 Thalias that do that. And Prelate does not block well at all. See, cutting Prelate, and then cutting... I guess Spirit Keeper. Spirit Keeper also seems pretty slow. Let's try it like that. Just gotta play around Street Wraith like not an idiot with Surgical Extraction. I just like, don't think you can keep these hands against Mentalist Dredge. This is a... If this is at an Aether Vial, then maybe, because it's a turn 3 Remorseful Cleric, or it's a turn 3 Containment Priest. But with the turn 4 Containment Priest, I think we just have better hands. Turn 2 Thalia is not bad against this deck, especially on the play. So I'm like a little bit tempted. Oh no, I'm supposed to be on the draw. Oh, I clicked play, didn't I? Fuck. You get a free card in this matchup. I'm thinking too fast. Too busy talking, not busy thinking. But whatever. Yeah, this hand seems like it actually do something. Turning off, like, Thalia turning off their whole deck seems pretty strong when you can just Stoneforge for, like, a Batterskull. Maybe I do keep this. Fuck it. Let's find out. But I definitely fucked up the play draw thing there. Of note. On the play, this might get there. Well, I mean, we're always on the play, right? I was supposed to take the draw because it's free against Manaless Dredge, but you're always on the play against Manaless Dredge, so. Yeah, it just had completely gone out of my mind. Yeah, they discard Phantasmagorian. We make a Thalia. And I think we're just gonna like recruit Containment Priest really fast. Oh wow, they bring in Force Will. Guess they're that scared of Thalia. Now, and they discarded Phantasmagorian, which means, yeah, if we were on the, that wouldn't change anything. All right, this Dredge hits. Wow, Quad Bridge. I'm very scared as soon as they find a sack outlet. We need to draw like. Oh, I think I'm just gonna recruit Walking Ballista. Destroy Quad Bridge here. There's like needs to happen. I cannot let my opponent untap with. Wait, they don't have a Dredger, right? Is it too greedy to go get something else? They don't have a. Oh no, they have a Stinkweed Dip. Alright, yeah, definitely gonna get Ballista. Stoneforge for this Batter Skull. Yeah. Can I expand this graveyard in any capacity? Oh, that's actually much better. So I can actually fucking see what their graveyard is, so I stop like misplaying because I can't see cards in their deck. I just F6, I got nothing. So now they only have Acorids and Prized Amalgams and Narcomoebas, right? We saw their whole deck. I guess they can still like cast Dread Returns. It's just harder because they don't get any zombies. Like Dread Return a big guy though. Oof, double Amalgam. They didn't hit a Dredger though, which means they're stuck for a little bit because they have 5 cards in hand. But now we have to face down triple Amalgam. But we can Stoneforge for Batter Skull here, which might help me. But and they also don't have any like black creatures for Icarids unless they picked an Icarid to the other Icarid. So I think we're okay here. Despite my many fuck-ups this whole match. Just like punting left and right. But yeah, that their triple bridge mill with no capitalization, and then we just recruited Ballista was pretty nuts. Ooh, Plow, that's good. And Plow and Amalgam as well. Maybe I'm gonna move this graveyard over here, I guess. I mean, I'm not blocking, so I might as well attack. Now we get like 3 turns of freedom here, as they can't do anything. What did they pitch to the Icarid? Can I just like not see black creatures? Am I blind? They had a Street Wraith, sure. Now I feel like we've stabilized. They could have like Sickening Shoal in their hand, which would be dangerous. do have to be wary of that. But as long as we live, if they Sickening Shoal the Batterskull token, we can just equip the Batterskull to something else, and then we still are fine. So they bring in Force of Will in this matchup, which is something I guess kind of makes sense. Because they have a decent number of blue cards between Whirlpool Rider, Prized Amalgam, Narcomoeba. I wonder if you have to bring in Mindbreak Trap because of that. I feel like no, but it doesn't seem like a whole lot of blue cards. So don't keep 6 lands rest. I might still keep 6 lands rest in peace. They don't always have the Force of Will. This deck basically has to keep 7 all the time. So the odds of them having Force of Will in their hand are some amount. I don't know where my opponent went. Hopefully my internet didn't die. Yeah, we haven't dropped that many frames. Pretty good. Oh, there we go. Oof. Crusader plus Batterskull. That's pretty much game. Get him. Yeah, they're just dead. Alright. Sideboard time. Not changing anything. I don't think. Council's Judgment still seems slow. Sword seems pretty unnecessary. I think I like most of the cards. Revoker is pretty medium, but it does help a little bit because if your turn 1 is like land go, and then they go like discard a Dredger, and you can go turn 2 Phyrexian Revoker with a Surgical in hand. So you can revoke Street Wraith and then Surgical it or something. It's not nothing. You can also like Revoker Phantasmagorian, but it's much less relevant. I think it's probably better than like Flicker Wisp or Hallowed Spirit Keeper or something. Just run it back. Opponent will probably decide that I'm on the play because they're not an idiot, unlike me, who just like muscle memoried the play. So this hand notably is turn 3 Remorseful Cleric or Containment Priest with a Path to Exile. The Batterskull's bad. Maybe I'm supposed to just mulligan this for a better. Like, turn 3 is kind of a long time. They probably get a better 6. 6 that involves like Thalia or our graveyard hate cards. I think we're gonna mulligan. Oh, this is just a worse hand than my 7. I just lost the Aether Vial. Now my hand's shit. Now it's like an auto 5. Fuck me, I guess. Why do I just keep having Mother of Runes Recruiter the card in all these fucking hands? Then go 3. Well, this is a better. Fucking Mother of Runes Recruiter the card just did not want to leave, I guess. We draw a land, and then rest in peace. That's our new plan. Good Tanti for pitching the first. I think pitching the first one was like pretty defensible. Mediocre 7 can easily like find a better 6. Reveal Chancellor of the Annex. Where do they find room for all like the cards if they have Force of Wills and Chancellor? I figured they'd cut Chancellors for Forces in this matchup specifically. What did they cut for these Forces then? Yeah, I'm mad about no Aether Vial. It was literally just my 6 with an Aether Vial in it. Or without the Aether Vial. Or it was like, it was a 7 missing Aether Vial. Oh, jeez, that's a lot of Phantasmagorians. I think I would have shipped against Manalise. There's just, like, so many better cards we could have had in our hand than that hand. Like, Thalia, Surgical, Rest in Peace, Containment Priest, Remorseful Cleric are all just better cards than, like, I would have rather kept, like, 5 cards in one of those than, maybe not 5 cards Surgical, but would have rather kept a very medium 6 with one of those than, like, that slow-ass hand. Especially if my, Recruiter gets forced or something. Because I'm definitely casting the Recruiter on turn 3 to go get a 2. Can my opponent hurry up? I moved a 3. Not a lot of decisions to be made here. Double Amalgam, sure. Icarus, double Amalgam, sure. Not worth firing off a path. If I draw a land, I can just path one of their things. They get a Dread Return Whirlpool Rider next turn, right? Because I can get back Icarus, double Amalgam, Whirlpool Rider that just, like, puts me in the ground. Oh, they have Therapy, right? Just going blind on a Therapy. I get Thalia makes sense, clearing the path for there. They can't Whirlpool Rider me yet, though. So we have to path one of these Amalgams. If they flip like an Archimeva, they can. And then we probably just die horribly. I wonder if I kill this Icarus over our prized Amalgam. Just so they can't keep sacking it to bridge. They have to sack Amalgams. They don't have anything to get back yet. I think we just gotta get lucky here anyway. They can Therapy for my whole hand? If they want. But then they'd have all their prized Amalgams in the yard. They would have 2 zombies, though. So they probably want a Therapy for at least the Mystic. Just in case their plans go awry somehow. We top deck Remorseful Cleric. Actually, we top deck Remorseful Cleric. That's, like, insane all of a sudden. We might actually win this game if we top deck Remorseful Cleric right now. Or, like, even Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace would be better than Cleric. Plow, not going to do it. Oh, they hit a Narcomoeba. That's not great. I'll let them have their fun. Dread Return there. Whirlpool Rider, go nuts. Go hog wild. We're super dead, but... Attack for 4, put me to 7. Return. Whirlpool, Whirly Boy. What's card even do? It's just a draw 7, right? Oh, draw that many cards. Oh, maybe it's not even good. They only have 2 cards. Would be double dredge, but they'd also lose their board and then only get a zombie back. I might just like keep the board and kill me next turn. With a billion prized amalgams. Although they could also... They all roads lead to Rome for the opponent here. Opponent taking a really long time, though. For what is basically guaranteed lethal. Unless we top deck Terminus that isn't in our deck. Oh, they want a Chancellor? Sure. Cool. All roads lead to Pound Town. There's a chance we could have won that. I don't know. My opponent had like a pretty good explosive start with Phantasmagorian. I'm not sure if we could have won that with my 7. I forget when I think it took them till like turn 3 for them to Cabal Therapy me, so like maybe we had a shot to just. But then we can't just win the game as soon as we have Containment Priest in play either, because they have a bunch of 3/3s, right? So we also need to find a way to beat those. Which I guess we had a Mom that stalls. Do I even have Manaless on this list? I played against it at least once. The answer is no. Alright, add a new thing to the list. Oh, my opponent's 4-0. Sweet. Sounds okay. Very weak Flicker Wisps. Mom and Revoker is, like, kind of weak, but I don't think this is weak enough to ship. But it's definitely not the best hand I've ever kept. Especially if my opponent just goes, like, fetch land pass. What on God's earth am I doing with this Phyrexian Revoker? Ah, City of Brass. Well, now I know what I'm doing with this Phyrexian Revoker. It's named Putrid Imp. Also, this hand's just terrible against Dredge. Maybe they'll let it resolve. Dang, they saw the line. Dang, they saw a bunch of the lines. Saw the bridges from below. Opponent's really getting the use out of their imp here. Still gonna name imp. Fatality, they would have like probably played one. And this prevents them from like discarding more things in the future. Sand really needs to draw a Remorseful Cleric. Oh, right, they just have, like... I guess we didn't know they had Cephalid. We only saw them in the yard. But Cephalid means that we're probably just boned. They're just going to, like, have a huge start here. did they hit? They only hit one Narcomoeba? Alright, time to top deck Remorseful Cleric. Get him. They have 2 bridges that they can... Oh, they have 3 bridges. That's pretty good. Name Source Splasher. I guess that's fair. They can name Flicker Wisp, too. I know they only had 1. That's unfortunate. So what's happening next turn? They have 3 bridges. They have nothing else to sack yet, but they could easily find something. The question is, do I want to, like, equip, like, play Sword and plan on that, or do I want to, like, Wasteland the City of Brass and hope that does something? I don't think it's going to do anything. I think my plan is just play Sword of Fire and Ice and hope. I mean, I guess I could always attack with a Revoker first and see if they block for some reason. If they're attacking with everything, we can still just block with Mom. And ditch it to break all their bridges. I guess the 2 damage probably isn't relevant. I'd rather lose the Revoker and keep the Mom. We need this Stinkweed Imp to be really bad for them, though, and then them also not to have any draw spells in their hand. Acrid back is pretty free here. They have 2 Street Wraiths. Oh, no, they had another therapy, and now we're dead. Now they get 6 zombies instead of 3. 3 we probably still couldn't have beat, but... Definitely not 6. Wait, they're not? They're not going to make a bunch of zombies? That seems super wrong. Oh no, they only have 1. Never mind. Yeah, they only have 1. I keep thinking they have more therapies than they do. That being said, we still need to break all these bridges. Which means equip Sword to Revoker, give it Pro Black, attack, and then shock my own Mother of Runes. Oh, damn it. Drew another Thalia. They could have sacked the Narcomoeba to the therapy, though, and then sacked the Acrid and Endstep and just gotten more zombies. We still do take, like, a shit zillion damage. We're probably still dead. They flipped the last bridge. They flipped another Icarid. They flipped a therapy. Therapies don't convert super meaningfully anymore. We've already killed 3 of their bridges. Just blocking whatever they send. block a zombie, take like 10, 14, some crazy number. Probably dead. In fact, I don't really see a line in which we're not dead. Okay, you have a draw GT because we have a Thalia in play. I don't think GT would do it. Right now, just their 5 zombies are lethal. So they're gonna have 7 zombies plus an Icarid here, right? We can block 2 of them, which means we need to block 3 other creatures with one draw, or like have some lifelink. So even like being able to cast a GT wouldn't do it. I don't think. Flicker Wisp definitely doesn't do it, right? It does kill 2 things. Jansen, thanks for the 2-month resub. Welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. It does indeed feel dredge, man. Manaless into normal dredge. So we flicker a zombie, they go down to 6 zombies. Attack is the same as blocking, except I might get a draw card. They'll just block, though. I guess I could, like... No, playing Second Thought doesn't do anything. It just breaks the bridge. That doesn't really end up mattering. Oh, they have 2 Icarids too? Yeah, we're super fucked. We can't even beat, like, what's sitting on the board right now. We would already be dead. Not to mention. Do they dredge? They don't need to dredge. Yeah, they don't dredge. Good move. This is why we made our certain deck building considerations, although it might be more relevant on Moto than in real life. You kind of want to hedge for the dredge matchup, which is why we're playing stuff like main deck, Remorseful Cleric, and such. So we're going to do something similar to what we did in the Manaless matchup, except I'm going to board in Chalices when I'm on the play. That reason being, turn 1 Chalice on 0 to beat LED is pretty relevant against some of their most explosive draws. Cut those. I also hate Revoker a lot more in this matchup. Just like does not come down on time to stop anything meaningful. It's like cut all these wisps probably. Cut Jailer. This looks up. Oh, we're at 61. Notably, normal dredge does not have prized amalgam, so it's less about beating the board and more about answering. Like, if you can surgical a bridge, it's a lot easier to mitigate the damage. So there's a chance I'm supposed to like shave a Stoneforge with only 2 equipment, or something like that. Maybe just shave a Crusader. I like Relic Order as a possible answer to Silent Gravestone, which otherwise turns off our surgical extractions. Because it could be Mom, actually. Mom might be the worst. That looks okay. Try something like that. Relic Order is essentially just a 2-mana Flicker Wisp in terms of being able to answer Silent Gravestone and cast your Surgical. Alright, just snap keep this. We have Chalice on 0 and Mom into Rest in Peace or Stoneforge. I almost want a Chalice on 1 to protect the rip, but this prevents us from getting like super explosive drawn. So the best they can do this turn is hopefully just like cast a looting spell, and we can rest in peace away a bunch of stuff. They could just like hard cast a Cabal Therapy on turn 1 as they sometimes do. Putrid Imp, alright. Rest in Peace helps against Putrid Imp. But it also lets them play around Rest in Peace, which is kind of obnoxious. Because I have to play this Rest in Peace proactively, and then if they have an answer for it, they can just upkeep, like, Nature's Claim my Rest in Peace, and then discard stuff to Putrid Imp still, whereas a looting effect would not let them do that. I still am just going to cast Rest in Peace here. You don't sideboard Rest in Peace against Dredge to not just cast it on turn 2. If we can get to Crusader plus Jite, we might also have a chance. Also, they're just drawing. They might have Assassin's Trophy. That lets us play Crusader. Serenity. At the beginning of your upkeep, destroy artifacts and enchantments. My Chalice. Kind of wish they had Assassin's Trophy so I could cast this Mirroring Crusader. Alright, this is a plan. Crusader plus, like, Jite. Might be able to fend off the hordes. Yeah, discard the thing in their upkeep. Dredge, hit a Narc and a Bridge. Nothing else super meaningful. They do have a Faithless Looting if they have land 3. Get 1. Where did their... Oh no, duh, their graveyard's here. I'm just blind. They've they discard the Stigweed Imp and then cast Looting, which means they're just gonna Dredge twice. Hit just a single Narc. Not super scary yet. 2 bridges, notably. We really need a Chop Deck land 4 to have a chance here. Oh, they do have A Therapy. Probably can't Blind Therapy GJ, though. Worst case is like they have a therapy at hand. They have therapy like 3 times to hit everything. So blind therapy makes sense. What would they name here, I wonder? Names it second recipes, I guess. No, that's not really fair. I would have just cast it last turn, right? No, this is the turn I played Mirror Crusader. So that's fair. Alright, time to top deck land number 4 like a champion. Obnoxious. We can at least protect our GT from getting therapied in the future, but it just, like, turns on so much bridge action from my opponent if they find another therapy. So it's better than casting Stoneforge, because my opponent finds another therapy, they just name my GT. They do have several Icarids, so I want to leave Crusader back this turn. 3 Icarids? Jeez. I don't think we have enough creatures to exile for all of those Icarids yet. We only have enough for 1, right? Wow, they exiled Icarid, alright. Opponent getting aggressive with their bridging, I guess. They milled. Nothing scary. They do have Nature's Claim in their deck, so... Milled their last Icarid. What's this attack gonna look like, I wonder? They need to give this thing flying, right? Yeah. So they're just trying to convert these Icarids into 2 zombies, then. I think I'm going to plow one of the Icarids just to deal with 2 less zombies. Take some wax here. I don't think I have to kill anything yet. Not until there are any bridge triggers on the stack. Do I want to, like, Wasteland and Mana Confluence? Probably not. I might know their whole hand from all the discarding and dredging they've done. I'm not positive. I think I'd rather hold the land, though. Notably, if I can just keep... Why on earth did they attack with Narco? I mean, I could have just, like, mommed the Crusader for Pro Blue and attacked. Would have tapped the mom, though, so it can't, like, block here. I don't know. See what they dredge. So they have a 3rd bridge and 2 therapies here, and another narc. They can therapy either way the rest of my hand, because they know one of them Stoneforge Mystic, and they're just going to automatically hit the other. But this is an intervening if, right? Yeah, so I can just respond to the bridge triggers by killing my mom. Thanks for the good luck, Yaz. I know it's... I always know it's an intervening if, but I, like, always have to, like, double check in my head. So how many counters is lethal with this Crusader? Is 1 counter lethal. Pump it up to a 4/4. Assuming I can, like, get past this Narcomoeba. Is 1 trigger lethal. Go up to 4/4, get 2 counters. Goes up to 8/8. No. Is 2 triggers lethal. Or 2 counters lethal. Go up to 6/6, put them to 9, and then go up to 10/10. Yes. So if I can keep 2 GTA triggers, I can win, right? So that would be ping Narc plus ping Mom. Now to have lethal. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 damage on board. So if I block an Icarid, I'm only taking 14. And then pinging my mom. I think that's correct. Because I need to go for lethal here. I can just ping my own mom, take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage, go to 1. Have 3 counters left, use 1 to ping the Narco, double pump Crusader, attack for 6, hit them to 9, double pump again, hit them to 10. Zombies are irrelevant, so I don't need to ping mom. I guess that is fair, right? Because I don't care about the amount of zombies they have, I'm just doing it for insurance. But that is also fair. I could just block an Icarid and just bank on Crusader GT winning. They could have Narco in hand to throw this off. Oh yeah, and if we don't ping, then double Narco in hand does reduce their life total by 2. I don't know if that fucks up the math. Insurance is not pinging, yeah. So yeah, if I just... This also preserves the mom, which just gets through all the Narcos, too. This is right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm only taking 14 here, I'm pretty sure. I could also just Wasteland to be sure I'm not getting narked. Just Wasteland this Mana Confluence just in case. Why take game actions with the GTO when you can sit there and make your opponent think about how dead they are? They could Firestorm me for 1 just to get me. That doesn't work because I could actually gain life off of GTA. They could Firestorm me for 4? And then, no, I'd still have lethal. No, because they'd be Firestorm the mom, too. And the Crusader. They have Firestorm, we're just fucked, so. Sweet, we got them. They concede. Alright. God, playing against Dredge is just something I don't have enough experience in. You have to think about the game so much differently. Beatstorm relax, they forgot the hidden GTA mode. What, the gain 2 life against Storm? They tendrils you for 20, 22. I've been there with Swords to Plowshares. Oh, you tendrils me for exactly 20, huh? I will Swords to Plowshares my Flicker Wisp. Oh yeah, we cut these chalices on the draw. Bring back in the mom, I guess. And, a Flicker Wisp to help against Silent Gravestone, if that's what they're doing. Prelate might actually... I think I might like Prelate more than Silent Gravestone. They're on Serenity and Nature's Claim, notably, which makes it so that I can't protect a Prelate, or I can't protect a Recipes with Prelate. But I think if I get Containment Priest in play, in on turn 2, I just win the game. The hidden mode of turn 1, Vial on 0, Walking Ballista, nuke enemy bridges. We did that against Manaless. The one game we won, they milled all 4 bridges and then couldn't take advantage of any of them, and then I just turn 3 recruited the guarded for Walking Ballista, and Walking Ballista blew up 4 bridges. It was great. I could buy Prelate being slightly better than a Wisp, so let's go like that. These hands just are way too slow. Especially on the draw against Dredge. We just need to demo again for some hate. I don't like Relic Warder. Relic Warder is specifically to hit Silent Gravestone. It's just a less shit. It's a 2-mana Flicker Wisp to beat Silent Gravestones. That's the only reason it's in the deck. I want Mulligan to 6. I like to see that. Opponent's deck Mulligan's a lot better than mine does, though. I wonder if this is worth it. Opponent's on a mull to 6, and this is if we can find a second land. No, we need to find a third land for a turn 3 Containment Priest. We need to find back-to-back lands. Or, like, 2 out of the top 3 cards of my deck need to be lands, because we have a scry. I guess we have a scry and a draw, so it's like 2 out of 4. Not a big fan of those odds, though. Just wondering if going to 6 is better than... We have how many Graveyard Hate cards? 5 specific ones. Surgical, Rip, Containment Priest, Remorseful Cleric. So it's almost there. It's like 2 lands, I might keep it. I think we just gotta ship this, though. Yeah, fuck. Alright. Fuck it. Cool. Do I just have to top this? Or am I just, like, not casting Relic Order? I think I'm just not casting Relic Order. Just gonna bottom that. Let's hope their first 2 turns of the game are not explosive, and they don't have an answer to a Rest in Peace. There's a lot to hope for, but... Well, I said not explosive, but I guess, sure. It's like, careful study, flashback looting. Some, like, not so... Or, like, breakthrough flashback looting. Some dumbass hand. At least there's no flashback looting yet. I hope they whiff off this Grave Troll. Oh, nice. Double Dredger and double looting. God, I hate everything. This is the opposite of a whiff. This is just like their whole deck's in play on turn 1. Fuck me, I guess. They have therapy too, so they can therapy Rip. Bridge. Yep, that's pretty good. Do they have another therapy? Really wish we had a surgical for that hand, though. They discarded exactly 1 Dredger, so they were, like, super dead to surgical if I had it on their Grave Troll. Which is unfortunate. I assume they named Rip, I can't actually see. Yeah. A little bit too slow still. Containment Priest. Considering my opponent's just going to make 2 Icarids and make, like, 6 more zombies and murder me. On the play, we might have been able to get there even through that absurd hand. But on the draw, we're just too slow against the nut. Oh, they have 3 Icarids? Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, they just have all 4. Alright, fuck this, I'm out. We could have beaten that with a surgical if instead of the Rip, notably, but I think there are a lot of hands where Dredge Moles to 6 and they can you can beat a Dredge Mole to 6 a lot easier with a Rip than you can with a surgical. You really needed them to brick with that 1, or like to brick even a little bit. Like if they hadn't been able to cast a looting, we might have been able to get somewhere, especially with the top deck Priest. Talk about a premature skip. Oh yeah, my opponent only had how much power in play by the end of that turn? 12, or what? They get 12 zombies, 24 plus 6, 30, 31-ish power into turn 2. And sand sucks. Sand is better. I think I kind of want land number 3, especially because I have a non-basic. I don't want to be soft to a wasteland, and port's a good land to have. And we had a turn 2 play. Oh man, Containment Priest, gotcha, idiot. How does Dredge beat Containment Priest? Ooh, the mirror match. Alright, well, fuck Thalia. Immediately go grab GTA. Gonna wasteland me. So I played Rashad Importance into Crocus so we can conserve weight sources. Oh, wow. Opponent aggressive. I wonder if I'm supposed to play around my opponent having a Mother of Runes. Maybe the other real option is like casting Umazawa's GTA here, which isn't super great. And then next turn I can like Flicker Wisp plus leave up a land. But if they have exactly Mom, we're in trouble. He's not necessarily in trouble. Because like they already have to answer this Wisp, so. Sweet, they don't have Mom. A calculated risk. Revoker. Thalia, sure. Got this Caracas here. I guess I'll just play my Thalia. Even through a port, we can Caracas their Thalia and equip. So they need like a Flicker Wisp, a Phyrexian Revoker, a Wasteland. Actually, Wasteland doesn't even do it. I don't need to bounce there. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Our plan is just to get our Flicker Wisp into play. Yeah, that's fine. Fuck. But now we can play Wisp. I think I'm just Wisp their Aether Vial, so I don't have to deal with any instant speed tricky shit. I could like Wisp my Caracas to prevent their Thalia, like, but the 2 damage isn't gonna matter. I'd rather play around their stuff. I imagine they're gonna recruit Phyrexian Revoker here, but we have Plow for that. So I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Because they need an answer to this GTA, or they're just going to lose. Palace Jailer, if they have one, and then a 4th land, that could actually get ugly. Because our hand is really shitty against getting Palace Jailers. No, they just grab Revoker. Good. Background. Are there cats in the background? Well, there are. There are 2 of them.
Ow, she stepped on my face. Ow.
That's fine. This should be game, or pretty close to it. My opponent does have 3 cards in hand. Not necessarily game. We have essentially 1. These Thalias are straight blanks. You got it. They don't port me, which makes me nervous. I do think the shields might not be down, but they've already cast 1 Plow. Don't play this deck to not just fucking go in. Well, I do have another Plow. That's rude. But would you recruit her at least? So we can recruit for some more action. So maybe there's a chance I was supposed to bounce Thalia and then cast Plow just in case that happened. I was wondering why they didn't port. I figured it was either a Plow or a bluff for Plow, and I was okay taking those chances. Do I want just like Walking Ballista here? Just try to take over the game like that? I don't hate it. I guess that's fair. Because they can put their Thalia back in on this vial. I don't like Ballista with a port in play. I guess maybe. But we have to have to force them to take. Oh shit, that's bad. But we don't need to necessarily play the Ballista because we have to force what I was trying to get at is that we can force them to answer this GT first, and they can't just be like willy-nilly porting us. Now we get to play Ballista on 2 and like try to stabilize from this GT. They have like a Flicker Wisp, we're pretty fucked. Unfortunately, I can't do anything with this Plow this turn. I think if my opponent knows what they're doing... Yeah, Ballista does not stabilize this very well. I wasn't playing around my opponent having Stoneforge. Let's just something. Just kill all their stuff. Now we just have to answer a GT. Which is definitely a lot of heavy lifting to do, but definitely not the worst here. Because we can prevent them from getting more counters after they get this third here, until they find another creature. Their hand is Thalia ? We have the Thalia covered. Rather Plow to Fog GT counters. I can't even Fog GT counters depending on how they use the GT. They can just like neg1 my Ballista, and then depending on how I respond, they can like equip to their Recruiter or do something else. Wait, why don't I just stop drawing stuff? Oh, that's fine. I don't want to put this Sprawled on 1. I put it on 5. What's the highest number I can put this on? Oh no, my opponent's gonna... I can't actually cast this, never mind. My opponent's gonna bow on Thalia here. So I need to be able to Crocus the Thalia and also Plow the Stoneforge to prevent more GT counters. I almost did grab a Revoker instead of the Ballista, just to plan on hitting Aether Vial, just so I don't have to mess around with tricky shit like that. Can we not? Can my opponent stop having threats, please? Oh, the Floating Man was such a mistake. So yeah, the Plow doesn't, I guess the Plow does fog with GT counters, whereas the Ballista doesn't. I think I misread what was going on there. Can't really Plow the Thalia because the Crocus. Would rather, I think. I think we're just dead, though. I think we're pretty dead after my opponent had the Stoneforge there. Wasn't really thinking about the lines that, like, don't lose me the game, rather the lines that just kind of, like, put my opponent on the ground. But the lines that don't lose the game are play around my opponent finding Stoneforge Mystic, I suppose. Yes, I was supposed to bounce that, but it doesn't matter. Drawing a bunch of Thalias definitely didn't help. My opponent did have one. Alright, so how do we sideboard for this? Paths, Council's Judgment, Recruiter, Relic Order. Cut all the Thalias. Drew the Prelate too. I think I decided that like Crusader's better than Howled Spirit Keeper in this matchup. There's a chance that like having access to one of these effects isn't bad, but there's just so much exile. But it does let you kind of try to fight some of the equipment, because it's your opponent can't really deal with it via destruction means. So there's a chance that like having two Crusaders is worse than having a Spirit Keeper just based on having some recruiter targets. Oh, this is 61 cards. Shit. No. Okay, there we go. What did I do differently? I cut 6 cards, right? Thalia, Sanctum Prelate, Hell Spirit Keeper. Right, this works out then. Just don't board in the second Crusader either. Just cut the Hell Spirit Keeper. I think I like the rest of these cards just fine. I don't know that, like, I would have... So I was thinking pretty fast. I don't know if I would have grabbed anything that would have stopped me from, like, dying to Stoneforge right there. I was considering, like, grabbing a Wisp, honestly, at that stage in the game, just to, like, recruit some Wisps and stuff, and we were still pretty dead to the Violet and Stoneforge that turn. The Wisp would help, like, try to reset the GT if I were able to, like, keep them off of creatures and stuff, but my opponent had, like, a pretty steady stream of those, so it didn't quite break that way. Got destroyed by Spirit Keeper in the mirror earlier. Did they, like, Violet in when you weren't expecting it, and, like, blocked and it exploded? Because it feels, like, situationally okay. Yeah, situationally okay, but, like, I don't know if it's worth cutting one of the 60 cards that are currently in my deck. We can talk about it more if we go to Game 3. I wonder if this hand is keepable in the mirror. Let's find out. On the play. Feels okay. We get to turn 3 recruit Stoneforge and Violet in, and then we have like a second recruiter and a Flicker Wisp for recruiters. Just couldn't remove it. This is the White Trunate Nemesis. Just gonna make answers for. That's a pretty good thing to just jam on turn 2. Might be grabbing a Revoker instead of a. Oh, never mind. We're gonna grab a Stoneforge. He's gonna want like sort of Fire and Ice or some nonsense. Could go for Ballista again. Just get wrecked. But I could always just go for Ballista later, like when Vile's on 3. I could like recruit. I could Vile on another recruiter and cast a Ballista on 2 or something. I think I like just grabbing Stoneforge here. Let's play around. Containment Priest. I don't want to get wrecked by like people's bad sideboarding decisions. They have a recruiter of their own. So what do I want to do this turn? Depends on what they grab, I suppose. Revoker. Interesting. We have a Revoker. Neat. I think I just like porting them, putting in sword, having this flicker wisp at the ready. I have a vial, they don't. I have like a pretty severe mana advantage if my opponent wants to try to hiccup my sort of fire and ice. Opponent could have a plow here now. Let's put this in a response. Also, I'm gonna just flicker wisp my recruiter right now, in case they name file. What deck plays Daze and main deck Bitter Blossom? Grixis Delver. Grixis Delver has been playing a couple of main deck Bitter Blossom for a while to hedge the grindy matchups like Miracles and Grixis. So I'm just gonna recruit. Relic Warder answers this Revoker. I could Ballista, but I'd have to cash in the Ballista, right? Because I'd have to... I guess Relic Warder doesn't, because I have this Mom. Because if I want to equip the sword this turn, then I'd have to just Ballista on 1. Alternatively, I could Ballista on 2 and just kill the Revoker and the Mom, which is probably just better. I feel like we're just like super far ahead in this game. Doesn't Grixis Delver play Days? Yeah, that's what I said. I was responding to Lewinill's question. What deck? Yeah, what deck plays Days? Main deck Bitter Blossom. Alright, well, my hand just, like, games where one person has Vial and the other person doesn't have Vial, oftentimes, like, swing pretty grossly in that favor. Just, you have so much just tempo advantage. You can get your stuff out on board a lot faster, especially being on the play. I think I still would have kept that hand on the draw. Just the ability to... Oof, this hand is a lot riskier. I hate keeping 2-landers in the mirror. Especially without Vial, just having mono 3s. Granted, these are good 3s. Didn't waste up, got stifled. Rip. Yeah, there are a lot of like, weird things you need to play around sometimes that sometimes you just forget. I'm like, oh yeah, Stifle's sometimes still in the format. I really want to keep this. I think I am, but every time I keep this hand, I just, like, never hit a third land and die. This hand, like, we have an answer to an early Mother of Runes. We have Council's Judgment, which is really good. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna regret it, but I'm gonna keep. We're on the draw. Oh, thank God. Did not get punished. Next turn we can play Port. If they Violent a Mom, we can plow it. If they don't, then we can just port them. Not that Port does a huge amount. Uh-oh. How are we playing around that? I'm tempted to just plow this Stoneforge, so my opponent is forced to sorcery speed their GT. Oh god, they grab Sword of Fire and Ice. So they already have GT. That's pretty bad. I think my plan is actually just plow this. Can't really wasteland that. Please don't have a Mom. Fuck. That's pretty obnoxious. Would have loved to have plow the Mom instead, but if I do that, then what's my opponent possibly casting here? Okay. if I do that, then I'm way softer to my opponent, like instant speeding in stuff like the GT or the sword, and then untapping and equipping it, and just like burying me. People playing Flagstones tell me. I was considering it for a little bit, but I just like don't think the downside of playing a non-basic, otherwise planes is worth the cataclysm benefit. It's like pretty marginal. Because even in the same matchup, like Miracles, you can still get fucked by it if your opponent casts back to basics. My opponent does not have a GT. Did I think the sword is better? I just like Council Judgment with a sword. They could have 4th lane GT and just wreck me. Yeah, it also like definitely telegraphs the Cataclysm. I think you were the one that brought up the point in the Discord, which like really put me off of it. Cause it's like, oh yeah, Cataclysm's a card. There's nothing else I can really do, right? I'm just priced into casting this Judgment here. Violent a Wisp if they want to save it. Then we kill the mom. Nope. Alright, well, at least kill this. Maybe it wasn't you. I remember someone definitely brought that up. So we need to hope that for some reason they didn't have the GT. But I imagine they just cast the sword out of mana efficiency. Like if they hit land 4 here, they can just jam in the mom to get counters. Yeah. Then we need to like recruit a Revoker or a Leonin Relic Order. Do they not have it? Do they just like don't have a GT? I'm deeply confused and concerned. Also, they didn't port me. They just like left up 4 mana. About to get like a Restoration Angel'd here. Guess I'm recruiting. We have Council Judgment to answer their GT after they play it, I guess. That's not... whatever. What do I want here? So my sword's in hand. I don't have GT yet. So Stoneforge isn't off the table. A little bit hard to connect through a Mother of Runes. Could preemptively grab a Leonin Relic Order or a Revoker to save my ass. Could grab Ballista. My opponent only has 2 cards in hand. I'm just grabbing Stoneforge and like having this plan. So I guess my opponent just like forgot to port me there. Which happens definitely, especially on Moto. Why would they... I'm so confused why they tutored Sword and if they didn't have GT in hand already. Flagstones is bad and people playing it should feel bad. Yeah, that's fair. I was a little on board with it, but I like jumped immediately off board when I heard the reasoning of like it just announces to the world that you're playing Cataclysm in your deck. One just like didn't board me again. Okay. Let's see what happens if I attempt to flicker us this recruiter, I suppose. So I assume they have like plows in hand. Nope. Alright, cool. And before Containment Priest blow out. Punish to Violent Wisp and flicker your recruiter respawn. Oh man, the sick plays get me good. Could grab Ballista here. We're getting a ton of mana. We have, like, things to do with it, though. We have a lot of things we still want to be casting. So, I think I want an insurance policy of some sort, which, in fairness, could still be Walking Ballista with this much mana. My opponent could port me off of Ballista for 3, but... I'm trying to figure out what we lose to at this point. I want to repeat a game 1. I want to, like, make sure we don't die to something stupid. But we have an equipment locked down. I guess we do grab Ballista here. Get through this current mom without just banking on flyers. And helps, like, my opponent not be able to set up a Recruiter Flicker Wisp chain too badly. We can ping down multiple Wisps and stuff. Because if my opponent, like, draws Recruiter, they cast Recruiter, get a Wisp, Violent Wisp, suddenly they have a board state. Do I just go for this? GTA Equip? Disenchant would be a card that makes sense to be in my opponent's hand. Are they trying to get you to overextend into Cataclysm? That seems like a card that they shouldn't board in, and also... Should I be playing around that, maybe? Do another Wiz. I'm thinking that Disenchant makes a lot of sense to be in my opponent's hand. They have 4 cards that just haven't done anything for like 3 straight turns. And they also just haven't been porting me, which is not indicative of Cataclysm, it's just indicative of, like, I don't know, my opponent's lazy. I don't hate just, like, GTA equipped with Wisp and see what happens. If they disenchant it, okay, I'll do something different next turn. Or maybe just sort of Fire and Ice equip. I guess this is bad if they do have Wisp, right? Because they can, like, Wisp off the sword and then mom their thing. It was kind of dumb. Oh well. But they had to have found Wisp exactly now, or they just decided to never use it. But yeah, this was kind of stupid. It's not really thinking. Still feel like we're in a pretty favorable position without just, like, me being a total idiot. We do now have the sword in play, which helps us, like, actually do things with our mana. Next turn we can just Ballista for 2. If they don't port me again. They gonna port me? Oh, they figured it out. Path to Exile is pretty neat. Lets me just, like, tap their Mother of Runes. They have 4 cards in hand, so I don't want to just, like, fire off a path and tap it. When I could just instead take over the game with a Ballista. Subgame of Ballista pumps Racing Bitter Blossom tokens. That's a game, I suppose. I can just, like, spend the rest of the game pumping this Ballista unless they have an answer to it. I assume they have a Disenchant somewhere. Yeah, there we go. If they have a Wisp to save one of these, I'd rather them save the Wisp, I think. Yeah. Because I don't really mind them Wisping a Wisp here. No, oh, they could recruit Wisp with the Wisp, but then end step Wisp the Recruiter. Oh, they grab their own Ballista. That's fine. Oh, do they also have a Wisp already? What? My opponent just, like, didn't do anything for 3 turns and just has all these cards in hand that they decided that are... They were just, like, sitting on them for this long. Seems, like, kind of weird. But I don't really care about their Ballista for 2. Not particularly scary. Especially because we have, like, Path and our own Wisp in hand and stuff. Hello, cat. Ballista for 2, sure. Oh, Batterskull. So the last card in hand is just Walking Ballista. Hello, cat. Hello. Hang on. Need to figure... Oh, yeah, they have 2 of those. I forgot about that. Don't I get to connect with GJ this turn? Just, like, suicide in my Stoneforge here? Leave up Path. GTA, like, just pings off a bunch of Wisps. I don't hate that. Council Judgment into equip. I guess Council Judgment German to equip, and I don't really like that much. Yeah, just like suiciding my Stoneforge here. Batterskull is just very not scary. I'm suiciding the Stoneforge, not the Recruiter here, because I have a Wisp in hand, so I might want to Wisp the Recruiter later. They could go get like another Recruiter, I guess, so maybe I shouldn't have been so hasty to ping that one off. I'm like misplaying a lot because I'm really tired. And because I genuinely just have a distaste for the D&T. Yeah, they find another Recruiter. But we have also this Path. They also just didn't recruit. That's kind of weird. So we know their hand is Recruiter, Ballista, question mark. They can Ballista for 3 here, but that's not a big deal. Because we have a bunch of removal spells. It's kind of a lot of damage. So the last card is Recruiter, which is still obnoxious. What's my plan? So maybe I should have blocked that Germ too to just take less damage, because I knew they were going to play Ballista here. I think I might be dead because I'm really bad at this game, but oh well. Live and learn. Revoker. Oh, that might actually help. Does it? We're at 5. My opponent can, like... maybe use, like, no Wisps. They can, like, if the response to Revoker, they can recruit another Flicker Wisp. And we have 7 mana, so we can't... We get, like, Revoke plus Equip plus Council's Judgment away a Wisp. Yeah. And then my opponent has block there, take 4, get GT counters, ping ping, Wisp the Germ, something like that. I think whatever plan I have to win the game, it involves revoking their Vial first, so... Revoke Skull, Flicker Token, Equip. No, I don't like that, because they have their last card in hand is Recruiter of the Guard, so they could just, like, recruit a Flicker Wisp, flicker this, untap Equip, I just die horribly. Mine is blank their Aether Vials. Council's Judgment. I think I'm Council's Judgment the Wisp, not the Batter Skull. Because I want to be able to block something with this Revoker, right? Notably, at this stage, I could also actually just play Flicker Wisp, kill the Germ. Oh no, then my opponent can, like... Well, they pay 5 suit up the Wisp. Then we untap Council's Judgment, like Equip. Doesn't GTA deal with the Wisp? Yeah, GTA. Could just... Yeah, that's fair. Just take the 3. But I'm not confident I can connect, because my opponent's last card is a Recruiter. So they get to recruit for something. If it's like Leonin Relic Order on my Phyrexian Revoker, it's really bad. If it's like if it's Phyrexian Revoker on like one of my equipment, I might just like die in the air. Although I have another Wisp next turn, so I'm not dying in the air. I think there are things that I could die to. Could just Flicker Wisp the Germ. They spend their whole turn equipping to the Wisp here. We block, untap with 7 mana, Judgment the Wisp, equip, attack. Then we might be fine. Oh yeah, this is Revoker Summoning Sickness. Otherwise, yeah, it's easy to just Judgment the Batter Skull, equip GTA, beat them to death. I don't hate Flicker Wisp with this Germ token and equip the GTA to my Wisp, actually. Maybe I'm just like underthinking things again. But they can't like utilize their... They can't utilize their Recruiter of the Guard well and also be able to like equip Batter Skull or something. They have to choose one or the other. This is their exile. I don't know why I'm looking at it. I should be looking at their hand that I know, which is Recruiter of the Guard, and now question mark. There's also a chance they don't have Leonin Relic Order because they cast a Disenchant game 2. Oh, they also cast Disenchant game 3. When did that happen? Did they disenchant my Ballista? I don't even remember what this disenchant hit. This is bad against Recruiter for Ballista. I'd be surprised if my opponent had 2 Ballistas in their deck. Also, I'm not dead to that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess they had Ballista for 2, just ping, put me to 2. But if they have second Ballista, sure. Recruiter. 4. I expect like Phyrexian Revoker. Or possibly also Leonin Relic Order. Yeah, we've both used a ballista here. If they have second one, we're not in the best of shape. I think that this might be like a recruiter and like an unsure answer. Like they don't know exactly what they're gonna grab here. Because it seems like they're tanking pretty hard. Like they don't know exactly what they want here. Like a flicker wisp doesn't do a whole lot. Palace Jailer, they're a mana short for it. Palace Jailer would be kind of bad for me. No, not really. Actually. Oh, they do have second ballista? Fuck. That's obnoxious. But they only have X equals 1. They like ping wisp. That's a lot of good draws. Alright, how do I survive this? It's cast judgment, right? And I could also equip sword, force them to use the ballista ping, but I think judgment just means if they don't ballista ping in response, I just win. Then I can judgment something else, suit up the revoker, and then win. Because if they don't ping ballista, we just vote for ballista and just equip the sword. Like, yeah. So now we'll have a 4-3 with a double equip. So we can vote for Flicker Wisp, and then we just have a clear board, right? If we don't vote for Wisp, then my opponent can trade Wisp for Sword, and then we need to draw another threat. So we just vote for Wisp. Could also vote for Batterskull, but I don't think Batterskull's a big deal, because it takes them a bunch of mana to pick it up and replay it, especially because we're going to, like, wasteland their port or something. Alright, we might turn this game around. Opponent could find, like, another disenchant effect. They don't have Leyland and Relic Order, I think they would have grabbed that over grabbing another Ballista there. But they might have, like, a second actual disenchant. They could find Palace Jailer. Would be pretty bad for me. But if we can untap, like, this one turn, if they miss, then we get to just win, I think. Just a million GD counters and a sword trigger. Caracas, oh thank god. Alright, that should be game. I guess I should wasteland and a wasteland first, but oh well. Sure. Guess I will wasteland this Caracas, though, just to prevent them from doing other shenanigans. Why are you floating mana? There's nothing to bluff. You have one card in hand and it's Batter Skull. Why would you float the mana? They have to spend their whole turn casting a Batter Skull, and we can kill it with our like sword GT trigger thing. Ooh, they drew Plow? Ah, oh, fuck. That's really bad for me. Luckily, that Wasteland means that we stalled them off of Batter Skull. Also means I need to like actually fucking play this Aether Vial. This Plow also stalls their Batter Skull for a turn. God. Yeah, that's fine. Not the draw I wanted. Don't think I'm plowing yet. I'm at 9 life, so... And I have 3 GT counters. I think I'd rather save the plow for some other shenanigans that happen. Fuck. I think I do have to plow it now, though. Actually, like, Wasteland a Wasteland here to try to prevent them from casting Batter Skull this turn. Wow, they just let it happen. Deal. Oh, they just have not end anyway. That's fine. Still have a lot of turns to beat this. Oh, whoops. Oh no, they Wastelanded my port. They didn't just like let it happen. Plow, sure. Well, that's a thing, I guess. Let's hope it's good enough. God, stop having swords to Plowshare's opponent! We better draw a 2 or a 3 drop here. Fuck! Now we're probably dead. We need them to brick for a little bit here. Yeah, sure. Oh, come on! That's some shit. We draw 4 Aether Vials. Would love to have drawn not 4 Aether Vials. I think now we're dead. Opponent finally gets GTA on like turn 9,000. Alright. God. I fucked up like pretty badly that match though. There were like a lot of things that I fucked up in that game even. I think we could have easily won that match. I don't know if we could have won game 1. I'm not sure. I have to go look back at that. Like it was a pretty impulse decision to just like grab Ballista. I was like, oh, this card's probably fine here, rather than actually like stopping and thinking about it. But there were a couple like pretty glaring like dumb things I did that game, and they did come back to bite me. But there was definitely a bout of bad luck there as well. Didn't play around second Ballista either, but there were other cards that could have been interesting there, like Leona Relic Warder would have made the game weird. But I think we did. I started like focusing during the latter half of that game, but at that point it didn't actually matter. Like weirdly enough, like some people like you can say the mirror is awesome because there's like a lot of like play and counterplay there, but I don't know. It wasn't like a lot of meaningful decisions towards the latter half of that game, right? Which is, I guess, comes with the territory of playing Death and Taxes, where you like make like a misstep on turn 5, and then you like lose on like turn 14 because you fucked up real bad. But like we both drew our cards, and then my opponent drew cards that were better than mine, and then I died, and there wasn't a lot of like counterplay I had, and it's just not super interesting to me. There are a lot of like weaseling yourself out of tight spots is really cool, which happens sometimes in this mirror, but sometimes you're both playing these non-blue decks that like don't have a lot of active decisions other than like, oh, I have an opening hand, and like you make some relevant recruiter the guard decisions, which is what I messed up game 1. But that game, it was just like, oh, well, I hope I top deck something, and then we never top decked something, and then my opponent top decked 3 Swords to Plowshares, and we found 4 Aether Vials, which was unfortunate. But that's that. Don't feel the only bad thoughts I have about it are just like me like horrendously misplaying all over that match. What game do we win? We won game 2? Yeah, game 2, because that was my weird keep. The mono 3-drop keep. Alright, let's go. My data's fine. It's midnight. Fuck me. I'm so tired. I need to, like, slightly adjust my stream schedule or something. Sometimes these streams drag on. So what did I do today? We just, like, died to Dredge twice, even though I had, like, my 5th piece of Graveyard Hate. Is that right? No, did we not die to Dredge twice? Did we beat Dredge the second time? No, we mulled a 3 against Dredge the second time. Cool beans. Alright, one other guy's playing Legacy right now, so let's go host this guy. Dan Lynch 83, it looks like. I don't know. I don't think I've ever hosted this guy before. Oh god, my frames are dying. 2-min Chalice is good for a stretch. I don't even know if that's like necessarily true. Like it's fine, but it still sucks ass on the draw is the issue. Like I'll board in Chalice without tombs on the play, but I don't mind the mirror anymore. But it's grueling when I first try. Yeah, the mirror just like sucks. A lot of the times is just, especially game ones of the mirror suck, and then sometimes post board games can be interesting. That's what I'll say about the Death and Taxes mirror. Like, game one is a lot about who draws less Thalias and Sanctum Prelates, or like who kept an opener that had a Stoneforge Mystic in it. Just like, oh, I kept a hand that's like good against most of the field. Yaz, thank you for the gift sub to Louis Nil. Thank you so much for the support, and Louis Nil, enjoy your new sub, enjoy your new emote and sub badge while you're hanging out. It shuts off looting and therapy. I mean, it doesn't really shut off therapy. Like the sacking is the big thing on therapy. And the main thing is that you want to shut off their explosive turn 1s, which is why you board in Chalice on the play, because it hits their LEDs at least, even if you don't have Ancient Tomb. And that's like also very minor, right? That's if you have one of like you're not a turn 1 Chalice deck by play. I'm not. We don't need to discuss this on stream. I already know your feelings on Ancient Tomb. It's just like you're not an Ancient Tomb deck. You're playing 3 Ancient Tombs and like four Chalices on the side. You're not always gonna have Ancient Tomb Chalice in your opener. And are you like then you have awkward normal D&T openers of like Plains, Rishadenport, and you have a Chalice on the draw against Dredge. Yeah, fine but not good. That's how I feel about Chalice in the Dredge matchup, just kind of in general. But notably, we did like fuck up. What did we? I forget how game 3 went against Manalus. We mulled, oh yeah, we mulled like the OK7 that might have got there into like just unkeepable garbage and then died. And then game 1 I fucked up, but I don't think it mattered. We just like bricked on lands real hard. And then against normal Dredge, what did we do? We died game 1. We played Rest in Peace, it got Serenity, but then we got Crusader GT online and we won. And then game 3 we mulliganed to Oblivion again. Is that right? So notably, I do like the changes that I made, regardless of like the performance of the deck. The changes that I made were indicative of like reading where the meta is kind of moving towards and trying to adjust towards that. Of like main decking this Remorseful Cleric against all these graveyard strategies, and I think I like having the option, even though we played Remorseful Cleric once this league. Oh, no, twice. We played against Eldrazi, but we played against Manalus Dredge and then still lost because I'm an idiot. I think we would have lost that game anyway, but I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tilted from losing to Triple Plow. Anyway, hope you all have a wonderful evening, morning, night, wherever you are in the world. And I'm XJ Cloud. If you want to support the channel some more, you want to see more Death and Taxes content, we stream a bunch of that stuff here. So you can follow, subscribe, or donate. Follows are totally free. Help you know when I'm going live. And help other people find my content as well. Subscriptions get you a sweet Thalia emote and Thraben-themed subscription badge in the chat. And donations, I'd be more than happy to play a Death and Taxes list that you want to see run through a league. Other than that, you can subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on Twitter. YouTube is where all of my streams go after they're done being live, so there's a ton of archived D&T footage if you want to go watch a bunch of games there. And Twitter is where I post when I'm going live, stream schedule, generic Magic stuff. Anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. Let's make sure that Danny is still going. This doesn't look like the video wants to load. Let me make sure he hasn't gone offline. The video doesn't want to load. But it looks like he's okay. It looks like I don't know if he's trading 4 cards or trading, like, putting the cards. Fuck it, we're just gonna host him. Alright. Catch you guys all. I'm not actually streaming tomorrow, so I'll catch you guys all Wednesday, which will be my last stream before Eternal Weekend. So, see you guys all then.